Oh man.
Shoot. Freaking button is up and working, running. Clapping.
No, we were.
Damn.
Oh, the first
I'm waiting to see it.
Yeah, I know. Not looking too good.
Running.
When you hit start streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Running.
Right, we are up. We're live. We're going. We're moving. What up? Welcome into OutSpoken Network. Say what you mean what you say. As always, I am Cordell.
Marqus.
It is prime time Thursday.
Prime time.
And we got.
We only have one.
And
Stop
we are.
Oh.
I don't know why you get so.
And today's matchup that we're going to be previewing is Bills at Dolphins. I almost flipped it around. Bills at Dolphins. We're going to get into that later on as we get into the game. I think game kickoff is what, 8:20?
Yeah, about 8:20.
Something like 8:20.
Something like that.
So we will get into approximately somewhere between 7:45 and 8 o'clock. We'll get into the game.
Long introduction.
With that, we're going to go ahead. I just want them to know if they're here for that conversation, tune in around 7:45, 8 o'clock.
Why would you tell them to leave?
I'm not telling them to leave. I'm just telling them where to look forward to that.
Come on now.
I thought that was fair.
Now,
You gotta give them the game.
Thing is, people who pull up at 7:03.
Oh.
they did. And guess what? There's only one person here, which is probably me. So,
Maybe First Take should say, hey, we ain't talking about the Lakers till 8:30. Don't worry about it.
but they do that.
Yes.
They do have kind of a lineup that's already that they'll put out
They
there.
don't give you term specifics.
I wish they would.
They just say, hey,
It'd be nice.
When?
it's
Nah, bro.
You gotta watch the other conversations.
That little bump.
7:45. We ain't talking about
Bump,
nobody.
bump.
I think it's very convenient, honestly. I think it's very user
We
friendly.
just lost half our audience because they not coming.
Well, if that's the only thing they're here for. That's 2 teams out of 32. We got 30 other teams to talk about. We gonna get into it.
Well, we ain't talking about them.
We gonna talk about them. Talk about them.
You know, doggone well, we ain't talking about the Giants. You know, we ain't talking about the Cardinals.
We talking about them. We talking about them. Why would we talk about the Cardinals?
We talking about the Broncos.
It's talking season.
It's talking season. That's all we do is
We talking about the Broncos.
We gonna talk about them. We got to.
Right.
We got to. Now,
Full-time,
the first thing we're going to talk about, because it's the only thing that we haven't talked about yet, is Monday Night Football. Jets. Crash.
What about them?
49ers. Soar.
Who's surprised? Anybody surprised? Anybody surprised by the outcome? No, I'm not.
I am.
No.
I was.
Oh, you picked the Jets.
I did pick the Jets.
Yeah.
But I wasn't surprised that they lost. I was surprised in the manner of how they lost.
No, that ain't surprising.
I wasn't expecting them to get spanked like
There's no surprise.
You tell us why.
We all sat here. We had the conversation. We all sat here with Christian McCaffrey being out. Nobody thought a spanking was coming without Christian McCaffrey. You thought they were going to get spanked still without Christian?
Yeah.
Spanked is
It's
a lot, but
them losing, I'm like, all right, you can lose against them. I didn't think it was going to be a complete like, I feel like they were dominated.
When you saw Garrett getting fed, third down, kept it pushing, kept it.
Didn't they went 3-0 in the first drive?
Second drive?
I think it might have been the second drive.
Yeah,
Went
second
3-0
drive.
first.
You're right.
But I mean, at the end of the day, scoreline wise, we only lost by 13.
This is a charity test.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah. So to me, that was ugly. That was real ugly on the Jets' behalf, and I was not expecting that from them. I thought it would be. You said you thought it was going to be a low-scoring game, so I know you didn't think it was going to get blown out.
I'm also surprised that they looked.
It wasn't surprised the Jets' offense looked pedestrian.
Not at all. These
okay.
They have.
Sorry. Jets offense, whatever. I was more surprised at the Jets defense. That was where I was like,
it shouldn't be a shocker
dominated that way.
But normally, when you run the football well, the defense is worn out by the fourth quarter. That's why they
looked like they was getting dominated from jump.
Well, to be fair, when we look back on it, the Jets are not the best run defense type of team. That is true. Like they haven't been even last year. They're not one of the best. Like they're one of the best defense in terms of pass, which the Niners didn't just pass all over them. They did have like some big plays, but for the most part, like it wasn't like they threw for 300 yards or anything like that.
The one thing that was interesting to me was the fact that the Jets gave up 400 total yards of offense with no McCaffrey and an off night from Brandon Ayuk.
That's true.
So what I'm saying, that's to me. I know it's week one. I know it's the you week one. You never really see the best of teams, of course, this early in the season. Man, like you don't. They're not even at full strength, and you still gave up 400 yards and 30 plus points. Like that's just.
Would Hassan Reddick be the answer?
No, because he's not a run.
He's not a run stuffer either.
Yeah, so either way, it still wouldn't have worked.
They were in trouble, and and this week, I think they're still on upset alert this week, or whatever, however you want to look at it. This is definitely a must win for the Jets in week 2. They cannot afford to go 0-2, but I think they will go 0-2.
Oh, let's have that conversation then. The Jets, alongside many others, are 0-1 right now, and I'm only going to bring up the teams that we thought coming into the season had a chance to get into the playoffs. Jets obviously are one of them.
Yep.
Ravens, Cincy, and Cleveland, all 0-1, who we all thought had a chance to be in the playoffs. Indy, Jacksonville, also thought they could get into the playoffs. He believed Tennessee as well, so all 0-1 teams right there. Now, the question is, of these 0-1 teams, if they go 0-2, who do you think personally no longer has a chance to get into?
Well, you already started talking Jets, so lay it out.
The Jets are my team. This was already – I had doubts about this team going into the offseason. As the offseason continued on and on, you started to see a lot more centered around the Jets that was more so, controversial or anything that just took away from the X's and O's on the field. So many distractions from the Hassan Reddick thing, trading for a player and then not giving him a contract and then not having – he's not even – available for the team, not even meeting with the team, barely even talking with the team. You got the whole Aaron Rodgers thing. Mike Williams hasn't practiced all offseason. He got cleared literally after the last preseason game. And, you're looking at this team and you're saying, yes, there's talent, there's names, but how is this team really going to put this thing all together? Like, them starting 0-2 is not going to be a surprise to me, and I think it's definitely going to be the case this week.
Well, yeah, I kind of agree with that a little bit. I do feel like the Jets are definitely in a time where it's just like, hey, man, like, especially against another AFC opponent in the Titans, that, and as you believe that they can make a run at the playoffs, if they lose that, that's just another tiebreaker that you lost to try and get in. So
Good point.
I definitely agree with that. I would say the Rams. They go up against the Cardinals, and they lose to the Cardinals. Like they still got to play the Seahawks twice, who I had getting in the playoffs. Still got to play the 49ers twice. Like their schedule is still pretty daunting. So it's just like, but they go 0-2. They don't have Puka right now. He's on IR. They hope he comes back after week 4, but we don't know that. Like, it's just in the offensive line is kind of decimated. Like, it just feels like it's one of those years for them where injuries is a key part of them not getting to where they want to go in terms of their goals.
Right.
And I can see it being one of these times where it's just like, last year they surprised a lot of people, and this year just kind of regressed back to what people thought they would be last year, where they're just like a borderline playoff team that just doesn't make it.
And to add to that, they got the Niners in week 3.
So
yeah,
going 0-4 is not. I mean, 0-3 is not good if they do that.
The thing about both of y'all's teams, I trust their quarterback more than the Indianapolis Colts. Anthony Richardson, I feel like the Colts schedule the way it's laid out, there will be a lot of close games. And he hasn't proven to us that his floor is high enough. It's too many. One or two plays will decide the game. Him missing A.D. Mitchell twice. Things like that will decide the game as they play the Steelers, as they play the rest of the AFC, Bills, Jets, yards twice. Their D line is looking third. You won't have a lot of opportunities, a lot of things that can go wrong with the coach. Granted, having Jonathan Taylor as your bell cow, having the offense run to him, maximizing hopefully Anthony Richardson's rushing ability will help some of those issues, but I don't trust him yet to be able to run the coach.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Jags.
That's another good one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the Jags, and I'm like, look, you just lost last week to the Dolphins. If you lose again this week to the Browns, now you're 0-2 in not just obviously the general standings, but you're 0-2 in the AFC conference. That's 2 AFC losses. I was going to go Browns, but your first game was against the Cowboys, right? So NFC, losing to the NFC isn't as impactful as losing a game in the AFC. So I would give them one more chance before that, because I was going to say the loser of that game is out, but I think the Browns have a little bit better chance because they face the Cowboys. But for the Jags, I'm sitting there and I'm like, normally you guys are a team that starts hot and doesn't end well. I obviously don't trust your end game. So if you can't start hot, man, I'm like, where are we going?
It's, in some cases you don't, especially this early in the year, you don't necessarily look at how games are played out and how they look. But in the case for the Jags, it's the fact that you lost in week 1 to a Dolphins team that's probably could be sniffing around a playoff spot at the end of the year. But it's how you lost. You had an early lead. You blew a lead against the Dolphins team that started slow and didn't get their offense going into the second half. So then you come back. And if you lose at home to a Browns team that looked the way that they look, knowing everything that's going around their quarterback right now, that's 2 ugly losses to start the year.
Yeah, so all right, that's to me. I'm like, all right, like, what are we doing? Because at this point, we have to say that there's no more excuses for this team.
The Jacks,
Trevor Lawrence has everything that he needs to make it to the playoffs.
No more excuses for
Well,
both.
no, you can say that Watson does have everything as well that he needs.
But we just don't see Watson as a good quarterback.
Yes, but people have people are sitting here now, especially like Watson. We haven't seen it. We should let it go. It is what it is. Like, that's what people are. But with Trevor Lawrence, people still treat him like he's on the up and up.
That's a wild moment. Even the touchdown he had last week with Brian Thomas Jr. Y'all watch from the end zone angle when he threw the ball, where he was leading them to. It's still like it looks beautiful. It looks like he has the capability.
Yes, but he doesn't have a consistency.
Yeah.
You gotta see it.
So that's kind of where I am with them. We'll see exactly what it is as we continue to make our way through it. Let's talk about some other teams real quick. Let's go to the NFC side of their own ones. We don't have a lot. The NFC actually
cleaned up.
They cleaned up pretty nicely last week. Packers are 0-1, Falcons 0-1, and I'm going to put Arizona in there because I think that they may actually have a shot. Maybe Arizona and the Rams. You already said the Rams.
Yeah, I already
right?
said the Rams.
You're the only one who said it.
A shot at what?
They had a wild card spot.
Cardinals?
Yeah, they had a wild card spot. If they play the way that I saw them play in week 1, they got a shot.
I mean, they've done it before.
I think they do have a shot. A shot. I think that I give them a.
It's the fact that
45% chance.
It's the fact that you also told us that the Bills didn't even.
I did. I do believe that. We'll get into it.
Didn't even open up their playbook.
Yes.
And so you expect them, well, not expect, but you're saying that they could potentially be a playoff team against a team that, they didn't really.
Yes. That's how I feel.
Possibility.
Because they're in the NFC.
Okay.
If they were in the AFC, I'd be like, yeah, nah. But in the NFC, I feel like there's opportunity. It is the land of opportunity.
What's going on with Marqus?
Nothing. It's his first game.
But even the way the tape looked like he was jogging through this route, saying he had the slowest max. He ran some fly routes. It wasn't as though he was all just pitching things, breaking off speed. Like it didn't feel as though he was like fully in it.
I mean, it might have just been one of those things where he just didn't feel like he was involved in the offense, especially, later on down the road, because out of the 2 targets he got, they were back to back. After that, Never got any targets.
Remember when Jamar Chase in his first preseason, how he was dropping every pass? You see how far he's come since then?
I just thought it was where it wasn't because of a lack of effort. It looked like Marvin was kind of that was the difference between those. Marvin was
Kyler definitely treated him as such. Not even looking his way on the final.
I don't like that he was like, this isn't the offensive coordinator called a play. Right? You at the helm, you have the ability to look at matchups and be able to give Marvin the ball if you see that will bring y'all success. You know what I'm saying? Like it's weird for him to say that. I didn't like that.
So, which 0-2 team?
Which in the NFL, he already said the Rams, though. But is there anybody else in the NFC? Because I didn't mention them in the previous at the beginning of the question.
I'll go ahead and say,
Dog, I didn't even say them, but thanks for that. I said team that we thought would make the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. I thought they had a chance.
You did.
I had them at 8 and 9, but I'm like, maybe
you had them.
No, I had them at 8 and 9. Maybe they. No, but I'm saying if I had you at 8 and 9, that means there's a possibility that maybe you could have done a little bit better than that.
You're not wrong. If the Commanders lose to the Giants, they're done. The season's over. Might as well get you a corner in the draft next season. That's it.
All right, cool.
All right,
it's not that fun.
And I think we heard that the Packers, we heard that Jordan Love possibly could play. I thought that was wild that there's that's out there that
everybody knows
that the door is wide open. This is from Packers. They said the door is wide open for him to play. So even though the report says 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah. So Matt LaFleur was just like, oh yeah, like we're not ruling it out, but obviously we're not gonna put him in if he's not ready. So he's just like, I don't know. Just say he's not out.
Just like
not him. Like,
come back to me in 2 weeks and let's have a conversation.
Yeah. It's like people are going to game plan for Jordan Love. It's like, no, they're not. So, but I mean, I do like that they didn't put him on IR because it makes him seem that, okay, like maybe in a few weeks he is ready. So.
But the thing with that is, we talked about it on Monday. You believe that they can, if he's out 3 weeks, if they lose 2 games, they still have a chance.
Yeah.
The Packers? Yes. If they're...
So they can afford to go 0-2 is what you said.
They can't go no worse than 2 and 3 by the time he comes back. If they're 2 and 3 or better, they're legitimately still in the picture. If they're 1 and 4 and trotting out there with Jordan Love, not necessarily knowing how far he's come in terms of his recovery and trying to climb back from that hole, then I'm like,
that's tough.
I can't.
Their schedule gets tough.
Yeah,
like these next 3 games, slick or like warm. They'll test them in different areas. Rams, Cardinals, then you got the Texans. You got the 49ers coming up at some point. You got the Lions. You got the Jaguars. You have what? Seahawks, the Dolphins. You have a lot of teams that you want to show up and be able to score points, be able to compete with them. Malik Willis hasn't shown us that he can go 2 and 2 and split these games. The Packers are a little concerning for that reason. But in theory, you would think that they traded for him for a reason. That they thought that he would be able to.
No, this is why you signed Josh Jacobs. This is why you brought him in.
You essentially need to treat it the same way that you treated Cooper Rush with the Cowboys.
Absolutely.
That's how you.
This is why you have him in. He needs to throw the rock 30 times. In my opinion.
I like the second string back that they got. Wilson,
whoever. I don't.
It's gonna be run dominant.
They need 30 or more rushes as a team.
No, for sure.
Give Malik Willis a few design rushes.
Yeah, honestly, Malik Willis. Yeah, let him get some RPOs in there.
Let him get comfortable that way. They're out here trying to throw the rock around the yard. I don't like their chances whatsoever.
And LaFleur did say that he's because he hasn't been with the Packers for that long.
Yeah,
like he has communicated with Willis in terms of like what he likes to do, what he doesn't like to do, so they can kind of build that game plan around him and hopefully try and win this game.
Also, this may have to be a case where the defense actually steps up and score, or at least increase the takeaways at the very least. But
when they got a few against the Eagles, maybe they can catch a few.
Yeah, turn those into points,
especially with a young quarterback.
Absolutely.
They put a tight, right?
Who?
No.
That's the Jets. Jets play Titans. Colts play Packers.
Yes, Colts at Packers. Yep.
Yeah.
1 o'clock start.
All right. Yeah, there's a chance.
So how do we feel Falcons wise? 0-1 right now.
Damn.
They go against the Eagles Monday night. We'll get into that game in detail Monday night, but their chances.
They
How are we
good.
feeling about them? If
I
they
mean,
drop to
even
0-2?
it
I think they're
wasn't.
gonna drop 0-3 in the
Is I think it is possible that they fall to 0-3. But the thing is, they came into the season with the easiest schedule in the league for a reason. This is the toughest stretch of their season, no question about it. Because literally after these 3 games, they have the Saints, Bucks, and the Panthers all in succession, and they can definitely imagine them starting 0-3, but then winning the next 3 and being 3-0 in the division at the same time. They're clearly could be back in the hunt at that point in time. Their schedule gets better. I don't want them to go 0-3, but it wasn't honestly. I would have if there was a 1-2 start to start the year for the Falcons, I would have been okay with it as long as they look fairly decent in that 1-2 record.
Yeah,
We'll
I mean,
see.
look, when you got the Steelers, then the Eagles, then
Right.
the Chiefs, you're like,
Right. Yeah, like I didn't. That Steelers wasn't going to be a pushover game.
yeah, nah.
Not with TJ out there. Absolutely.
How long do y'all give Kirk to warm up before you get concerned? Some of the throws, when you look at the tape, it didn't feel like he was trusting that plant.
How long are you giving Aaron Rodgers?
Watching Aaron Rodgers tape, it didn't concern me.
How long are you giving Aaron?
He wants the same time you're giving Aaron.
No, I just want to know. Like, do you expect Aaron to be Aaron this week?
That's the question. I think the difference for me again is the aesthetic and how they're throwing the football. Kirk felt like his base was off with some of his throws in terms of stepping and driving. I didn't feel the same with.
Yeah, I will say the one difference with Kirk and Rodgers was the fact that Rodgers was actually doing play action, whereas Kirk was not. In terms of just like going through the full like 5-step drop type like bootlegging and stuff like that. But yeah, like I mean, me personally, I think that I'd give Kirk probably like until the Panthers game. If we lost to the Panthers, I'd be like, yeah. But it's not me saying that like benching Kirk for the season. It's more like, hey, like you need to get this like rest and let Penix play, and then hopefully whenever you're ready, you're ready. That's just me.
All right.
I think we have 3. I think we got 2 or 3. One of those.
All right. So I'm gonna move on real quick to some of the 1-0 teams. 1-0 teams who we think are gonna end in a disaster. Here's the 1-0 team list: Patriots.
Yes.
Steelers.
Disaster is the word.
Chargers.
What's disaster?
Okay, so
Not making a play.
not making the play.
Yes.
Okay, so let me start over. Patriots,
Yes.
Steelers,
Yes. Yes.
Chargers,
Yes.
Minnesota, Chicago,
Yes. No.
Saints, Bucks.
Yes.
I agree with you, Rob.
That's not making the playoffs.
1-0 team.
No. I think only 2 of those teams are making the playoffs.
I think no Pats.
Okay, no Pats.
No,
Pittsburgh.
yes.
Yes to Pittsburgh.
Yes, make the playoffs.
Yes.
Yeah.
I say no.
Okay.
No.
I didn't have them as a playoff team when we did our picks, but I think
after one game, you like, yeah, they playoff.
Well,
what game did you?
No, because I had the Jags as a 7 seed, but I don't think they're gonna make it now. I think they should have beat the Dolphins.
Okay. Chargers.
No.
No, you said no for the playoffs?
Yeah, no for the playoffs.
Yeah, I said no.
Yeah, I'm sticking.
Mini.
Nope. No Bears.
No Bears.
Yes,
no Bears.
You still okay?
Yes to the Bears.
Even after what we saw from Caleb.
Yes.
Okay, hey, look, because
he's not
got to
gonna-
stick to his
He's
gun.
not going to play like that. For
He got to
17
stick
games.
to his gun.
All right.
He's not going to play like that.
To his
Saints.
No to the Saints.
No.
No to the Saints.
Bucks.
Yes, they'll make the playoffs.
Oh. Yeah, it's borderline for me.
Baker.
Like them It depends on what the Packers do.
Depends on what the Packers do.
Because I thought the Packers would make it, but if this injury lingers, they're not able to get Love back and get back on track, then I can see the Bucks getting it. So
two teams from the South.
Yeah. So.
Okay. All right, let's get into some key games here that we got coming up this week. With that being said, I told you we was going to touch on majority of the teams. Doing the best I can here. All right, so one big game. You just touched on them. I think it's an interesting game too. Bucks at Lions. 1 o'clock start.
Rematch
from the NFC divisional round.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Who wants to take the first bite?
I mean, look, man. Lions gonna win this. I think that they're just a better team.
Baker coming off a game.
Yep. He was cooking. But he was over here, man. Hey.
Look, our quarters did not know how to tackle or nothing. He brought us up. Don't do that.
I did not bring you up. I brought Baker up.
You brought Baker.
I mean, but Baker played them, so
I honestly forgot who they played. I just remember they was cooking.
Hey, that's what happens when you.
Anyway, keep going. I'm sorry.
Look.
I didn't remember.
What does that say? What does that say?
Okay. Hey.
Okay. Says we beat y'all.
So you got
what does that say? Forgot that.
I think they're gonna be able to run the football. Y'all don't shut up. Lions gonna run the football.
Okay.
Amon-Ra is gonna have a bounce back game. I think the Lions defense plays well like they did last weekend against the Rams. They win the game. It'll be close. They'll win.
What are we thinking over here, baby?
I think the Bucks are going to give them more of a game than we expect. The Rams
upset alert.
I said it was close.
Not upset alert, but I think it's definitely going to be. I don't think the Lions will be able to run away with this one. The Lions were still not able to really put away the Rams, despite them losing Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp having 21 targets, which is crazy. They were still not able to take advantage of that and put that game away against the Rams. So I think right here, the Bucks they still won, yeah. But I mean, again, sometimes it does matter how you win in the NFL. It may not be every week like college football, but sometimes it does. I just think the Bucks, they'll be able to take the fight to them. They definitely will have to get. They'll definitely have to be efficient offensively to control the crowd noise. If they don't convert on third downs, it's going to get ugly because that crowd is going to get into it, and it's going to be difficult to try to find some type of cohesion offensively. So,
who you got?
I got the Lions, but I think the Bucks will. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a one possession game.
I have the Lions as well. I feel like the Bucks are going to end up being one-dimensional. They didn't run the ball well against the Commanders last week. Bucky Irvin had a nice little 30-yard run. Other than that, Rashad White was 2 yards of carry. He had 4 yards of carry for the rest of the carries. I feel as though you can't beat the Lions.
Lions as well. I just don't believe in Baker. Let me just get that way. I don't believe
man. You said he was cooking.
He was cooking, but now the fry's about to get turned off. It's gonna be closed up shop.
They said we shutting the oven.
Yep, that's how I feel about it. Before I get into any of the other games, I want to know who you guys got on upset alert. You said, I believe you can start it because I believe you said Jets should be on upset alert. That's what you said.
Absolutely, yeah. I think the Titans can walk away with this win. I know everyone.
Well, I mean, I got Cardinals over Rams.
I was about to say Cardinals too.
Yeah, Cardinals over Rams.
I'm not going that far with it, but I do think that the Jets are on upset alert. I think the Titans can get this victory here. I know we saw what we saw from Will Levis last week against the Bears. He didn't play amazing, and minus that one throw where you're like, "What the hell is he doing?" He didn't play terrible. He played okay up until that point, in my opinion. Yeah, that throw, that was a complete brain fart. I don't know what. Yeah, I think the Titans can definitely get this win here. Matter of fact, I'm taking the Titans.
Taking the Titans upset alert. All right now. We can go while you get your thoughts.
I justify what I was thinking about because I was going between
Giants over Commanders.
Is that really an upset?
Yes.
The
But go ahead.
Giants play us very well, and
Who are you gonna say? Don't let him distract you. Who are you going back and forth between?
so I was going back and forth between
We lost
Raiders-
viewers.
Huh?
We lost
the
viewers.
Raiders over the Ravens.
The Raiders over
Over
the
the Ravens.
Ravens.
I was
Cool.
looking at that one. I was trying to figure out ways to justify that. I do like what Ravens bring up front in terms of being able to deal with Lamar for one, and it could be
That's
one
true.
of the things where the just timing come off with each loss where it's close, more of an expectation to come in at home, beat the Raiders.
So if they lose to the Raiders, what's the narrative?
Big picture, I feel as though they would be fine. Lamar didn't enter the MVP conversation last year too late. The Ravens picked up so late in the season last year anyway.
I mean, being fine is one thing, but when the last time we saw them start the season 0-2?
Yeah, I'll be causing concern.
It may not be a concern, but I know that there may be a good portion of that fan base that are just
Like, what's going on?
yeah, what the hell? They're panicking.
I feel like with the way that the Ravens defense has always been able to put out defenses, they're going to have an opportunistic defense, and they have the ability to control the game with Jerry.
I think, like, what would be the reason that they lose?
It would have to be
The run game is not going.
and it doesn't.
No, I can't even say that because I don't think the Raiders' pass defense is all that.
Wilkins, Crosby, they should cause some fits.
That's what
Against this offensive line. I don't
The
think
Chargers
there's-
ran for like 200 yards.
Yeah, but the Ravens also going back to that week one. Did the Ravens offensive line look impressive to you?
that's because they're going up against the Chiefs' defense.
I mean, Christian
Wilkins
and Matt
They're good, but they just got gassed for 200 yards. Like, I gotta.
You always look at it from one side. Like, it's just
this
Because that's what the Ravens do is they run the ball.
it's a gotcha.
but the
game.
Ravens
That's
offensive
really
line but the Ravens offensive line definitely looked vulnerable last week. Why would they not?
What we're saying is we think that maybe the Chargers O line is better than the Ravens O line. That's what we're trying to tell you.
Coming into the year, we knew that was a weak.
That's what we're trying to tell you.
I mean, I don't think.
Because
my thing is like I didn't come into the season believing that the Chargers O line was this beast of a
it's not
O-line.
about it's the fact
So
that
I'm thinking that I just think that the Ravens have an opportunity to run the football.
coming into the season, what did we say was the weakest point of their roster? What was the weakest position? We always looked at that O line and said that can be a spot that gets them in trouble this year. They start off week one against Chris Jones and Karlaftis, and that Chiefs defensive front was doing whatever they wanted to early. Not only that, but the procedural issues as well. How many flags did they have where they were
Yeah, they
lined
had
up?
like 7.
Like it's those things that I'm like, yeah, they can't even against this. You may look at this matchup and say it's the Raiders, but looking at that defensive front for the Raiders, they can give them trouble too.
I mean, I had higher expectations for the Raiders. They just kind of lowered it after the loss they had to the Chargers because I thought they were going to beat the Chargers.
One thing I was thinking about was just again, one of the things you go into Mile High.
That would be an
It's a
upset.
tough play to play.
It
tough
would
place
be an
to
upset.
play. It's one of them things.
I actually kind of, I kind of wish that Russ was playing
Yeah.
for this game specifically.
Yeah,
I would have loved for Russ to be playing.
he would have went out there and threw 3 picks.
Nah,
Against that Broncos
I think he would have lit it up and looked dead in Sean Payton's face and been like,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't know about lighting
Nah,
it up.
yeah.
No.
Flex
He
on.
didn't lighten it up.
I think he would have went up there and had a couple sack fumbles.
The one thing about this Broncos defense is legit.
Pat Surtain gonna be on George Pickens. George Pickens had a heavy majority of the Steelers. So if they don't find any other way to get other people involved, it could be a very low score.
Like I think
It
that
could
the
be.
Broncos could be.
I think the one key that the Steelers do have is like if they're able to run the football. Because we saw that the Seattle was able to against this defense. So it's like if they're able to do that and kind of opens it up a little bit more, it would definitely help.
I mean, they were able. The Steelers got a win last week, but I think they were averaging less than 4 yards a carry. It wasn't even. I know Najee had under 4.
Yeah, Najee had 3.5. I think Fields had like 4.
But it wasn't. They
wasn't
they didn't
nothing
necessarily gas the Falcons.
They were
in terms of
just
run.
they were just repetitive to
Yeah.
where it's just like just wears you
They're
down.
just eating the clock. Yeah. So that could great point.
The Broncos
Surtain, we know what he's capable of. He's able to kind of sort of cover Pickens for an entire game, man. You're gonna be looking at Van Jefferson trying to make plays.
Russ Wilson's back, so we get to see what he's looking like.
In the altitude.
Oh, that'll be nice.
That'll help out.
Yeah, he'll probably have some gadget plays.
You gotta see it.
You and me both chose the Cardinals over the Rams. So
I got the Broncos.
all right, I'm going to get back to some key games here before we get into the main event. Bengals Chiefs. Bengals at Chiefs. 425 CBS. Bengals 0-1. Chiefs 1-0.
I think this is domination
by
the Chiefs.
Mm.
Like after what the Bengals showed me, I feel like if Higgins doesn't come back, the Chiefs defense is just too good. And if they make you one dimensional,
great.
I was like, if they make they make you one dimensional, bro, it's a wrap. Because I don't see the Bengals defense stopping Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Travis Kelce with Pacheco. Yeah, like, man. Yeah, this is just not a good matchup.
No, I don't think the timing is right for them. I understand Joe Burrow was a water bottle, but the fact that he's still running his wrist around during the game, I feel like that was more concerning to me than how he picked up the water bottle. And again, when he's been missing one weapon or the other, look like it's an above average quarterback. He hasn't been as scary when he's had one receiver or the other. So I also feel as though the Chiefs,
that's Marcus's number 2.
Understanding the narrative of Joe Burrow's only one that keeps Patrick Mahomes. I feel like Patrick Mahomes has a little more stank. He's going to show up ready to go. So the Bengals, I don't want to say they're going to get blown out, but it'll probably be like 7. About 16, 17.
Europe stress. We go.
I want to pick the Bengals.
Bengals.
Check for 'em. No, they're not giving me a reason to do so.
You don't like it?
So you choose the Chiefs?
No, it's not that.
This whole offseason.
The whole offseason.
I've been falling apart internally. I mean, while the Falcons have been able to put their team together,
MVP too?
And no, CJ's my.
That was your comeback. Something, right? Burrow was something. No, he's your Super Bowl pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. They're not picking to win. See,
to get to the Super Bowl, yes.
Pick the Niners to win.
And he was like, man, last year wasn't the year. This year.
The Bengals that he said. Bengals in the soup.
Hey, look, man, you always got one that just falls apart after a few weeks.
Actually, I think I picked Burrow as my offensive player of the year.
He did.
Yes, he
did. Because he was like, oh, he'll have a good enough year. Even though he doesn't win MVP, he'll
offensive player of the year, Super Bowl appearance.
I want to pick them, man.
Damn.
They don't look good. No, I'm not, man. Just move on. I want to pick them, man. They're disappointing.
I am picking the Chiefs. I don't know what that is. I just know.
Hey, but it don't matter. But they cover.
It probably doesn't matter.
They cover.
Damn, Joe. Come on, man.
Look, it's all good. It is.
It's not all good. They start off 0-2. They're going, bro.
Can they not afford to be 0-2? We didn't bring them up in the 0-2 conversation because they not afford to go 0-2.
I thought they could.
They can't afford to go 0-2, man. You can't go 0-2.
Let me tell you something. They can afford to go 0-2 if the upset that Eric says happens. If the Ravens go 0-2, then they can afford to go 0-2. That's how I feel.
I just feel like going 0-2 in the AFC is a death sentence.
It is. It is.
So according to DraftKings, it is a 6 point. The Bengals are 6 point dogs.
Oh boy.
No,
that's an easy cover.
I'm just saying that Bengals are losing.
Just know I'm betting for them to cover.
So
put it on the parlay.
So, but again, I just want to clarify: 0-2 death sentence.
Bengals.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I actually think so myself. I think once they go 0-2,
even the year, did they go to the playoff? What did they start off 0-2 to the playoff?
I believe so.
I feel like
this is a different AFC.
I feel like you just looking at it and saying,
AFC.
It's a different AFC.
I feel like you just looking at it and saying, like, yeah, we're used to them starting off slow every year.
Eventually, the odds won't be in your favor. You can keep on messing around going 0-2. It's going to happen.
They started 0-2, won 4 of their next 5.
Last year?
2 years ago. Lost to the Browns, won out. Won 8 straight.
Can't bank on that every year.
I'm saying this is. It's in
I
their
mean,
DNA to be able to
even last season when they started off 0-2, they went 1-3 actually, and then they won 4 straight, and then they lost to the Texans, and then Joe Burrow got injured against the Ravens.
Can't bank on that every year.
But we're just saying that. But this is what they do every year, so it's like it shouldn't even be surprising anymore that it happens.
That's what if there is any team that deserves benefit of the doubt, well, you're probably.
So why didn't y'all pick them for the playoffs?
I did.
I didn't pick them for the playoffs last year either.
I did have them in the playoffs.
I didn't like the vibes going into the season.
I had them, the Dolphins, and the Jags.
But you're saying they still could do it this year, going on.
I'm saying that they shouldn't be written off.
Yes.
That's all.
All right. Just not written off, man. That's all.
But there's still a chance. I'm not out of the running.
Get your stuff together, Joe, and Zach, and Jamar, and T.
You gonna name anybody else?
And Trey.
Oh shoot! All right, Browns
and Logan. I'm sorry.
Browns at Jags.
Speaking of a franchise in shambles, man.
Which one?
The Browns.
Oh, okay.
This is a tough one.
This is nasty. This honestly, man.
Can the Browns win just off defense?
See, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like,
here's the better question for this game. We're gonna put this on an actual television, or we're gonna keep it in multi-view. Which one?
Multi-view.
We're gonna keep this one in multi-view.
Yeah.
That tells me everything I need to know about this game, because we disrespect the multi-view games. We just throw them on the television and say, yeah, they're there. If you want to watch it, they're there.
Yeah, I don't know.
This could be.
Like, part of me wants to pick the Browns.
Why?
Because I just think this is like the defense will just find a way.
Miles Garrett didn't practice today. It's Thursday.
He didn't practice?
He didn't practice today.
Oh, jeez.
I think so.
I'm going to my picks.
Miles did not. But
it's one of them things where it speaks to Trevor Lawrence for me that we're still not thinking that he can overcome certain situations. Given the fact that the Browns quarterback has been a detriment to his team, the Browns, they always put out a good defense, right? Or at least consistently with Myles Garrett. I feel like we would, if we had more answers about Trevor Lawrence, we wouldn't be feeling this.
So to go back to your question, whoever we pick, are we just basically picking the defense? Like we're not even factoring in the offenses in our pick, right?
I think so.
Well, no, I think that
I'm scared to pick either offense.
I'm not scared to pick the Jaguars offense. I'm not scared to. I think they're very boom or bust. They can absolutely have a day.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, but to me, I don't think that the Browns offense can have a day. They have to rely on the defense.
Well, they have.
It's more the Jaguars had with their pitfalls aren't turnovers. Like they can be, but they're typically not. Their offense is stale occasionally. The Browns turned the ball over. Even when they had Joe Flacco, same thing. He was throwing hella interceptions when he was out there. So that swing in terms of what a turnover does for positioning on the field, for your team's morale and such, that's what's more concerning about the Browns.
The Browns have no run game, at least without Nick Chubb. But the run game doesn't look the same without Nick Chubb. Njoku is hurt, and Deshaun Watson is still, yeah.
So like Deshaun
pass
last season.
Pass.
You gonna talk about the game where he was like 5 for 5 or 7 for 7?
Well, not even just that against the Ravens, but against the Titans, he threw for 280 and 2 touchdowns.
Did he have a sexual assault lawsuit hanging over his head before that game?
Yes.
Before that week.
He just didn't know it.
I mean,
at that point in time, he was like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm clear. I did what I need to do." And then now it's like, "Oh damn!"
Like to me, last year in the games where they needed Deshaun to be the game manager, they won. when they needed him to be the game winner, they lost. So I'm just like, if they can keep him being a game manager, I think they have a chance to beat the Jaguars. It's just the fact that can they run the ball well enough and play defense well enough for him to just be the game manager?
The most expensive game manager
who
in
we
NFL
picking?
history. Wow.
Man. This is tough, man. Go Jags.
Yeah.
Jags.
I'm going Jags.
Yeah.
I'm not touching the Browns.
So we're gonna do a real quick speed through before we get into the main event. Raiders at Ravens.
I'm still going with the Ravens. I'm not.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you was gonna be bold.
Ravens. Chargers at Panthers.
Hey man, look. Justin Herbert is about to have the Chargers 2-0, baby. Let's go.
Chargers.
This man was hesitating. That's why I was looking.
I want to pick Panthers.
Dog. All right.
I learned my lesson last. Chargers.
2-0, baby.
Saints at Cowboys. Oh, sorry, Chargers. Saints at Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Really?
Hey, Derek Carr look good.
Yeah, ain't gonna look that good
against an FCS opponent. Now he's got Micah. Cowboys. What's the spread?
Cowboys.
That's the better. The better question should be
I'm taking the Cowboys.
What's the spread? What's the over on the spread?
I don't know if we give our final. We all chose the Lions, correct?
Yes. Yeah, we all chose
all
the
right.
Lions.
We all right. Colts Packers. No love.
6 for the Saints.
What do you think?
Underdogs. Okay.
Colts at Packers. No love. Colts.
I'm gonna say the Pack. I'm going to say the Packers only because I just watched this Colts team get diced up by Joe Mixon.
Okay.
And I think they're going to run. The Packers are going to run. They're going to have to run the football.
I mean, getting diced up by Joe Mixon because you have so many weapons on the outside that you got to defend is completely different.
I mean, you still got Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, Romeo Dubney. Those are weapons.
Yeah, but you don't believe the person that's throwing the ball. I think that's the
yes. But all right, you got it. So, 49ers at Vikings. 49ers, right? 49ers.
Man, it's gonna be a tough game.
I mean, absolutely not.
I mean, they played the Vikings. They lost to the Vikings last year, right?
Hey,
that was all right.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about
49.
Seahawks at Patriots. Seahawks.
Yeah, Seahawks.
Not as much confidence, but
definitely a lot of confidence.
Seahawks. Are we comfortable? Is it a sweep? Seahawks?
On the road, I think there is it warrants some consideration.
So you're gonna pick the Patriots?
No.
All right.
I think the Seahawks.
Okay, thank you. Jets at Titans. Jets. Titans.
Where
you at?
Will didn't give
But Aaron did?
All right.
Never mind.
Yeah, he should have.
Giants at Commanders.
Giants.
Commanders.
Giants.
I do hesitate.
Rams at Cardinals.
Giants.
We heard your ass.
Oh, okay.
Rams at Cardinals. Yeah. Are you taking the upset?
We already picked the upset.
Daniel Jones with 300 yards.
I gotta stick with it now.
I have to put them on upset alert.
Daniel Jones, 300 yards.
Okay.
And 2 touchdowns. Please. Daniel Jones, 300 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Don't lie to people.
Cardinal. Come on. Rams at Cardinals.
Oh.
Malik Neighbors, 100 yards.
I have Cardinals.
You have the Cardinals. Rams at Cardinals.
I'm taking the Rams.
I'm taking the Rams. They should be Cardinals. The Rams should be on upset alert, but I'm taking the Rams.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it can be close. It'll be closer than expected.
Steelers at Broncos.
Steelers.
I'm taking the Steelers because Bo Nix, I don't think he's ready for this defense.
Yeah.
I think they did
off the defense alone.
TJ Watt.
Broncos. Trap game. I think Justin Fields.
You said what? You picking?
Broncos.
You picked.
I already said this.
Okay, no, it's cool.
It wasn't.
He did.
It
It was
wasn't
the other upset that he had. He didn't choose the other. He didn't choose the Ravens one. He's choosing this one to be an upset. All right. Bears
Pickens.
Bears at Texans.
Ooh.
Sunday Night Football.
Texans.
Texans.
Not even close.
I'm not even hesitating.
I haven't seen enough.
Yeah.
And Rome,
especially with this Texans defense.
I don't think that the Bears defense is as good as they looked last week. I think Will Levis is just.
I think they are. I think they're able. I think the Bears defense is going to have a better showing than people do.
Okay.
I think this defense is going to keep them in the game. But as Eric just brought up, Keenan Allen and Rome banged up right now. Their practice has either been non-existent or limited this week. I don't like
those.
Week
1.
I don't like those odds. If they were fully healthy, honestly, I would consider leaning towards the Bears here. But I'll take it.
That's great. All right, now let's get into the main event. Tonight, Bills at Dolphins. Both teams 1-0 coming into this. Tua is, I don't know, because we're always doing this.
No, that's all I want to think.
Tua is 1-6 versus Josh.
Yep.
Will he be 1-7? We'll find out tonight. How are we thinking about this game? What are we thinking going into the game before we make our picks?
You got to show me. That's where I'm at. You
Okay.
got to show me between the Bills element and the good teams element. Josh Allen in this stage with Joe Brady, I trust them to be able to control the tempo of the game. I don't know if I trust you to not take the Bills up. That's kind of where I'm. Still going to have to show me.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's basically just put it down, man. Tua just got to show it. Like at some point, got to beat Josh. In order to beat Josh, he's got to be the guy to lead them to do it. And most times he has not.
If the Dolphins were to win, actually, who are you taking before I get into it?
Man, the Dolphins, this is definitely, they got to win, man. And not just for the sake of this week 2 and they started off iffy last week. It's, again, as you guys mentioned, it's the Bills. Like, they've lost 4 straight, right? I think it's 4 straight?
Yes. Yeah, 4 straight.
1 and 4 in total in the last 5 games against the Bills. And Tua hasn't looked great in any of those games. It also felt like, not only that, but it also felt like just offensively, the Dolphins were not necessarily able to get anything going in any of those games.
You don't have to make a pick yet. I just wanted your analysis real quick. So what do the Dolphins need to do to win this? What do we think?
Tua has to play well, and they need to be able to run.
He has to be efficient. Yeah, definitely.
What is well?
Like
no turnovers.
Yeah, no turnovers. Like none. 250.
250. How many tutties?
1 or 2 is fine.
Yeah, I'm about to say 1 or 2 is fine, depending on if they run the ball well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They need chunk plays. That's what they need. They need gaps. They need plays that deflate the defense, that gives him confidence, that boosts that. I don't feel as though throughout the course of the game he's going to be able to matriculate. Thank you. Combining words. I don't think that he's going to be able to get up the field consistently throughout the game. I think that he's going to need a Tyree 60 yards, Jalen Waddle 75. You know what I'm saying? He needs something like that, an 8-10 burst. Yes, I'm saying what the Dolphins need. That's what they're going to need. I understand how your defense operates against them. I'm saying for Tua confidence, ideally, that's what he would need. Chunk plays. That would help.
All right, let's flip it. What do the Bills need to do to win this game?
Josh play like Superman.
Josh has to play like Superman in order to win this game.
Because the way the offense is now, I feel like that's just the way.
That's what he has to do every game. What's the key? Josh got to play like Superman.
These teams that are like playoff worthy teams, like he's got to play like Superman. Because I don't think there's a whole lot of weapons that y'all use on offense right now that
he didn't have to play like Superman against Dallas last year, and they
beat him.
Handily.
That's because that was one of the rare occasions James Cook just went. He did good.
Well, what I can say, you saw what ETN did.
To me, I think what they need, the one thing they definitely need to do, don't let Tua find any comfort whatsoever. Like,
So
force
you
him to
need-
be.
So Greg Rousseau and Oliver,
Yes.
the front
Big players.
line.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
Greg
Russo
Russo, 3 sacks, 3
coming up
tackles
with
for
3
loss.
sacks, yeah. And AJ Epinesa having the year that he had last year.
No, he had 3
He had
last
3. Von had 1.
Yeah.
Just allowing,
Say got in the backfield, man. 3 tackles for loss.
Who?
Rousseau.
Okay.
just even
Man.
with that, it's always
man.
a luxury
Strong, man.
to have just your defensive line able to get after the quarterback without having extra defenders coming. They have that luxury. They don't have to blitz. When they do, they're good at it, but they don't have to. And going back to these recent games against the Dolphins, Tua has not looked the greatest, and he's always looked a little rocky, especially against a Bills defensive front like this. So yeah, that's to me, that's the big priority.
Why aren't you worried about
Did I ever say that?
Oh.
You just assuming.
Sorry, was Jordan Poyer being able to give them the blueprint?
Jordan Poyer is a huge concern to me, yes, because of his insight and knowledge of what he knows about this defense.
You didn't feel like he was concerned about
Taryn not playing?
Correct.
That's because I've just seen this defense combat injury year after year. They figure out a way. Now, usually Taryn's a part of how they combat, so it'll be a bit different this year. But it's really going to be about if that's what they attack. Like we were having the conversation earlier, and yeah, if they start just saying, "Hey, we're just going to put Tua, we're going to put Waddle, we're going to put Hill, we're just going to line them up in the slot," then I'm going to have a more concern. If they're on the outside, I'm not concerned. I think that Christian Benford and I think that Rasul Douglas will be able to handle things properly with just technique. I think that's how they combat a guy like that. Like people keep on saying, "Is this a game where we see Kyer Elam?" Hell no. Stay his behind down. I don't care how fast Kyer Elam is. Technique is gonna be what helps you. It's what helps you overcome speed if you use proper technique on these guys. So I'm not too worried about that. I am worried, yes, if they do attack the slot, then yes. I'm also wondering if this is going to be a lot of dime. Like instead of us seeing nickel, maybe they're in a lot of dime packages, and you're out there with Taylor Rapp, freaking DeMar Hamlin, and Mike Edwards is out there. I said what I said.
I'm running. If I'm the Dolphins, then I see that I'm running the football.
I mean, you can by all means go ahead. I mean, last year they lived in the dime once Milano went out. They just had Poyer come down and play on like third downs. They would have Poyer come down and play linebacker, and then they would have Taylor Rapp and Micah Hyde.
Yeah, I'm running a lot of.
I mean, you can do that, but I think that I think DeMar Hamlin. I don't like him in the past, but when it comes to defending the run, DeMar Hamlin's not afraid to go in there and make a tackle. So I'm not really worried about that part of it. Like I said, I'm more worried about if Tua has answers that he didn't have before going up against the defense. I think that I think Christian Wilkins being in with the Raiders now is a big deal. I think that showed last week with ETN, and I think that this week Joe Brady will try and capitalize on that as well and get the run game going with both James Cook and Ray Davis. I think we'll have a good showing. And I also think we're going to see a lot more formations and schemes because, like I said it before, I think because of Poyer being in Miami, they knew that they had Sunday, Cardinals, Thursday, real quick, we have Miami. We're only going to show so much of our playbook against the Cardinals because we want to save as many wrinkles as we can for Miami because it'll be wrinkles that Poyer don't know about. So I feel like Poyer, even though he wasn't on the Cardinals defense, he was helping them because we were limiting what we could do because we knew who we had next. That's honestly how I feel. I feel like the things that they did in this game was just to set against the Cardinals was to set up the things that they want to do against Miami. And they were like, oh yeah, they're really predictable. I think they had the highest percentage of runs on first downs throughout in week one. I'm pretty sure coming into this game, it's not going to be that script. I think they were setting things up for this. I think it was a 2-game plan for Miami that they have. And now everything that they worked on throughout the offseason will be unveiled in this game, and then we'll see how it goes from there. This is the most nervous that I have been for Bills going up against Miami. I will say that.
Game. Simply because of the Poyer thing?
The Poyer thing, no Taryn, no Milano, and I don't have two. It's not like I have two leaders at safety anymore to make me feel comfortable. The leader was supposed to be Taryn. Like, that's what they kept saying. Like, he's the leader in the secondary now is Taryn. So now I have no leader in the secondary. So I'm like, all right, who's going to step up? I don't know. So it's just a lot of question marks. No, I doubt it. If anything, weird enough to say it, I really feel like it's about to be Taylor Rapp. I feel like he's going to have to be the guy.
Like Taylor Rapp, man, he's been on Super Bowl.
He has to be the guy, which is interesting because Pro Football Focus gave him the highest grade for the Bills defense from last week's performance. So, I mean, I didn't watch the tape on him to see how well he was, but if they're giving him a high grade, then I guess he did his job last week. We'll see what it looks like going into this game. This is, like I said, last week was a quiz. This is the test. This is your first test. Right here. So we'll see how everything unfolds. So yeah, but I'm still taking the Bills to win this thing. I don't expect it to be a blowout. I'm expecting it to be somewhere between. If the Bills lose, it's going to be by less than a touchdown. If the Bills win, it's going to be by more than a touchdown. I don't think it's going to be a close game in that.
All right.
Josh Allen and the Bills on the streak of what, 40-some games without losing by 6 points?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen,
they don't lose by more than a touchdown when they lose. I think the last time they did was the Bengals in the playoffs. I think that was the last time they lost a game by double digits or by more than a touchdown.
What?
Playoffs.
That was playoffs 2 years ago.
Wow. Goodness. So
especially since they had 6 losses.
Mm-hmm. All close, ugly games. So who you got?
I got the Bills. I need to see it from Tua. I thought last year he would have split with them and he didn't. So at this point, you gotta show me. So yeah, I'm going Bills.
I'm Marqus.
Okay.
For the same reason. It's one thing. For the last couple of years, we've been like, oh, Michael Gaines gonna put players in position to succeed, got the speed, gonna be able to take advantage of the Bills, and that hasn't worked out. Bills have historically done a good job at limiting Tyreek, what he got going on. So I'm going Bills as well.
Last one up.
He's been so stressed off.
This is the Bengals. This man been in this. Oh shoot!
I'll take the Bills.
What? Earlier today is a safer bet.
Okay.
It's gonna be insane.
Because he ain't got nothing to lose.
Hey, hold on.
Dolphins, man.
Thank you.
I'm leaving Tua.
Thank you.
Tua, get it done tonight. Please.
I was about to say, because if you were doing that, then I need you to go into Pick'ems and change it.
Nah, I wasn't doing that.
I'd be like, oh yeah.
I know what I said on the show, but what Pick'em say?
Nah.
I'm taking the Dolphins tonight. I think they find a way to get it done. I don't think it's going to be a blowout on either side. I think this is definitely going to be a 4-quarter slugfest.
Allen career 11-2, 285, 36 touchdowns, 5 picks versus Dolphins.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Thanks, Eric.
He got this.
I just wanted to throw that out there on screen.
All right. But we are going to wrap it up here so that we can get ready for the game just like the rest of you. Please enjoy the game. We'll be back here next Monday. Please like, subscribe, rate, review, share on our socials. Till next time, I am Cordell.
Marqus.
Be easy, be breezy, and please take it easy.